It's September and it's back to school and back to basics for the banks. Almost a year to the day since their classmates, the Lehman Brothers, failed. But has the class of 2009 learned to go back to the era when they were the servants rather than the masters of the economy? Welcome back, class. As I take the register, I want you to think what you've learned this past year. Goldman's.
Yes, miss.
Lehman's. Lehman's. Bear Stearns.
The remaining students will notice that there are fewer of them in the classroom. And so they probably know why. And for a while, say 2 or 3 years, this may make them more cautious and less likely to take the excessive risks that the missing ones took.
But having less students in the class might encourage even more unruly and reckless behaviour on the side of banks, because they now know that they're teachers' pet and will always be saved.
The crisis has necessitated our creating even bigger financial giants because of the collapse of certain well-known institutions and the non-viability of some of the brokerage houses during the last year. So now we have created these banking giants which are literally too big to fail and present enormous amounts of moral hazard and risk. So to my way of thinking, this is the biggest challenge that I think banking authorities face, which is to basically cut these banks down to size or force them or encourage them to break up.
Something that these banks will mightily resist because it will eat into their huge profits.
If there's something they've learned is that they've got to be on the right side of the government and on the right side of the regulators. The banks are a very strong lobby, they're very well connected, they've got people, the highest reaches of government, not just in the UK, but also in the USA and elsewhere, and they are very active in influencing the policy-making process.
I know you're the headmaster's favourite, but that should be really no excuse.
On top of that, they're also giving their own staff incredible bonuses again, because ostensibly they want to hire the best talent in these markets, and they fear that if they don't offer very high bonuses, they're not going to get it. So there is no evidence of any change.
And finally, for homework, I want you to tell me what you'd most like to be once you leave school.
Most likely to be a tightrope walker, supposedly without a net, but surprisingly with a net when they fall off. That would be one. And most likely to be in the Bahamas would be the second.
Let's hope some lessons have been learned. Otherwise, another financial crisis could await us in the not-so-distant future.